Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Jarrell Finance joining you this wonderful Monday morning, guys. It's Monday, the 29th of August, 2022. Believe it or not, we are at the end of August. We're the month to me is just running out so quickly. But we got to do what we got to do. We got to make the most out of the time that is there. And I hope you guys are up and about. I hope that you had a very rested weekend and you are ready to go for this week with all the vigor and excitement, the glee that we hope it to translate this morning, guys. Let me tell you, some days, Monday morning, we have to make it the top of our morning, no matter what it is, no matter how crazy your weekend must have been or whatever. You have to make Monday that day that you get up and you push and you push. No matter if you don't want to get out of bed or whatever, you drag yourself up and you make sure you put on that bright smile and you go out there into the world to make a difference. That's all we're hoping for. I see you guys there in the comment section. Candace Ryan. Hey, Candace, good morning to you. I love the little emoji there this morning. Bright emoji, flush face and all of that. Marlon Young, good morning to you, Marlon. How are you doing? I hope all is well at your end. I see Paulette Greaves is there. Also, good morning to you, Paulette. How are you doing? Paulette, a happy Monday to all the way from Maryland. So Maryland in the house. Marlon is there. Edward Gonzalez. Edward fed up right in Bronx. He said from the B. Good morning to you, Edward. Hey, is it Beryl Crawford? Good morning to you, Beryl. I hope all is well at your end. This is a good day for us. This is a good day. Up and about. Make sure that you're doing good. Make sure that you're enjoying whatever is out there for you to enjoy. If you're struggling, listen. This is the morning you're gonna get up and you're gonna put a plan in place to start to get out of as much of that hole that you've been in for a while. So let us do our best to make sure that we have a great week, guys. I see Ayaba Natasha Congrese is here this morning. Says good morning from England, and Ayaba joins us every afternoon there. So to Ayaba alone, we get to say good afternoon, Ayaba. So good afternoon to you this wonderful Monday. Winston Simon, I see you there in the comment section, says a blessed morning to all the viewers. I'm thankful for another blessed birthday to meet me in greater. I see Debbie is having a birthday today. Did I get that clear? I'm hoping I got that right. The comment went by so quickly. So happy birthday to you. I'm hoping that you are having a great day this morning. Oh my goodness. Happy Monday from France there. I see coming up. I see Jewel Ward also in the house this morning. Blessed week, says a Spice Man, guys. It's such a pleasure, a privilege to be with you, interacting with you this morning. Clifton Smith says, good morning, Sister Jaretta and Brother Sherrod. God's richest blessing to the FYI family. Thank you so much. I hope all is well at your end. I hope you're doing great this morning. Hey, Diane Fordyce, I see you. I see you there with the emojis there this morning. And Leon Blair, good morning, Leon. Hope all is well at your end as well. Let me know where all of you are checking in from. I know Marilyn Thomas there, logging in from Queens there early this morning. I don't know, my eyes, it just waters some morning. I don't know why. Paul Archer, lovely blue, awesome. Yes, I don't know. I think blue is my color. I don't know. Every time I wear blue, I feel a little different. So every time I have it down there, I have to put on something blue. Usually blue goes with white. So hopefully it does the trick this morning. I see Warren Figueroa on this morning. Hey, Warren, hope all is well at your end. Patricia Graves, Zandy Goodman, good morning to you. Hope all is well at your end also. And Colin Alexander says that's a beautiful kitchen. Oh, thank you so much. It says listening from Covent Garden there. We have some folks joining us all the way from Covent Garden, guys. And I see it's Yi Sen Slow. Did I get that right? That is watching us this wonderful Monday morning from Trinidad. So Trinidad is in the house. A lot going on over in Trinidad. Listen, I've been going through the Trinidad news, Trinidad Express online. A lot is going on there, guys. Brenda Brattle, how are you joining us this morning from Florida? Hope all is well at your end. It's such pleasure, privilege to be with you. And I see Aubrey. Is it Aubrey Lennox there with us this morning? Says good morning, FYI family. A lot of you came through very early this morning. I'm so happy. Share. This is what you have to do. We have to start Monday off by making sure that we set the bar high when it comes to the FYI viewership. Rhonda Sobert says Rhonda is watching us from London this afternoon from for Rhonda. So it's a pleasure to have you here with us, Rhonda. I see Rose. Jeff is saying good morning, directing the FYI family. Guys, I am so blessed to be here, in the land of the living. So many persons are no longer with us, it's crazy, but we have to keep pushing forward and we have to be healthy. I see Lynn Fernandez is saying Brooklyn in the house this morning. Good morning to you, Lynn, and I hope all is well with you and everyone else. You know your name, you know their names. I see Donna Fresco is here with us this morning. Says good morning to you guys. Already share. Well, you see, Donna could come and Donna could step to the front of the class. Donna could pull up in one of these chairs because Donna had done her part, already shared the stream, and that's what we asked. I see. Is it Yvonne Ramasar there? Yvonne, I didn't see you Friday. I don't think I saw you Friday, Yvonne. If I missed you, my apologies. Carpenter Boy Truth Teller is with us this morning. Speaking the truth in the comment section, says Rise and Shine. Good morning, peeps. Isn't that the truth? That's what we're ready to hear this morning. Rawl Hamilton. Hey, Rawl. I hope all is well with you there in Queens, New York. I hope you're having a good day. I hope that your weekend was great. This is how we like to have our FYI family out and about and doing their best. Alexis Williams says, good morning, director watching from Barbados. Blessed Monday to all of you. What's going on in Barbados? What's hype over there right now? Let us know there in the comment section as well. I see Lena Williams there and Agri March. Agri, you're switching platforms. I'm talking about Agri business. Agri is usually on Facebook, but don't worry, with Agri coming through from YouTube now. I see a lot of you Facebook are switching over to YouTube. I think I know why. Don't worry. I see Colin A. Alexander is joining us this morning. How's beautiful Guyana this morning? Guyana is what it is, but we have some beautiful people. The landscapes are awesome, just awesome. I love waking up in the morning to the serenity. It's just, it's to die for, especially for those folks waking up in region number 9, region number 7, region number 1. The serenity in those regions is just amazing, relaxing, breathtaking. Good morning to you, Mia Miller, here with us this morning, loving the Greek colors. Yeah, well, I didn't think about it like that, but thank you nevertheless. I see Mr. Giselle Chipper 68 says it's gonna be a hot day. Well, it's a hot morning here. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like the heat, but I'm gonna just deal with it. Hey, good morning to you. Is it Michaela Andrews? Well, it's a very long name there. Michaela Andrews, Coates Andrews. Well, I'm not going to go through it all. Good morning to you, my dear. So lovely of you to join us this morning. And Lena Williams had to say it, looking beautiful, Joretta. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Special happy Monday to you this morning, as a matter of fact. I see Zamir Muhammad is there. So good morning to you, Zamir. Guys, let's get into the morning papers. It's Monday, so we have a packed discussion for you guys. But in the meantime, let me just take a quick break. This is the share break. Share. Breathe. Go to the bottom. Hit share. Make sure you share to your groups. Make sure you share to your pages. Whatever is it that you can do at your end, make sure that you do it this morning. I see Region 1 in the house. Stacy and Stall. I had to stop to acknowledge that. I am so happy that you can be able to join us this morning. It is a pleasure, privilege to have you with the FYI family here this wonderful Monday morning. Golly God says catfish loves flood water. I don't know what's going on there, but we're gonna get to all of those things. I see I missed that comment, sorry about that. Don Sullivan, September the 5th. Okay, Don Sullivan. Guys, let's get straight into the morning papers as we are having a packed day. Good. First thing in the morning papers I want to talk to you there about is UG engineering students clinch 1 million science fair prize. And oh my goodness, when young people do well, when we have people repping the Guyana flag and flying our flag very high, we're very happy. And I have to say that over the past years, we have seen an immense growth when it comes to technology and the use of technology. The STEM project, for example, I would just let you know, since all the work was done way back prior to what is going on now. When STEM first started, we had our first batch went and rep Guyana there. I think it was none other than the then First Lady Sandra Granger that was looking at them very interpersonally, and they did such an amazing job. And when I see our students going out and excel the way in which they excel, I'm super, super proud. So I have to give a big shout out to that. And I have to go into, let me just get the notes there really quickly for you guys. This is the morning that my notes are freezing up. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Let us continue to share the live stream. I see. Okay, the National Science Fair Competition and Expo was hosted by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports over the weekend at the Orchard Conference Center. And it says 30 projects from categories such as energy, the environment, agriculture, information and communication technology, and housing and water from youth groups across Guyana were on display and competed to win in the $1 million. And it's so lovely that we have the winning team there, and that UG science group. And I'm absolutely happy that those persons went out there and they did their part and they displayed what we have here. And we have extremely brilliant students. We have extreme at the University of Guyana. That is, we have a lot of competing. I know a lot of competing universities are actually setting foot here, and I always say be very careful and check accreditations before you go. University of Guyana have been doing a tremendous job. Well, the students there have been working. They've been raising the bar. And we want to say kudos to the hard work that those students are doing. You guys deserve the absolute best. I know the difficulty. I've been there. I've walked that road. So we celebrate with you guys this morning. Well, when it comes to what is going on there, I want you to remember there was an incident, very, very, very not so very scary incident, and very costly as well. But a fire caused by a child playing with a cigarette lighter gutted a Friendship East Bank apartment on Friday. And quick action, they're saying quick action there of the fire service actually prevented the blaze from spreading to other sections of the building. I have to say that this is one of the rare times we get to say kudos to the firefighters for their timely response to this. So we have to say, we've been very much critical of them and the length of time that they take to actually get to the scene on so many cases, the majority. So when they get there quickly, as much as we're critical when they don't, we have to say kudos when they do. So good going there. And I have to say we want to see more of those quick responses. On the other hand, parents, you have to be very careful with what we allow children to access in the home, especially when it comes to things that can cause fire, a lighter. I think that they said that a cigarette lighter. So that's very serious. You have to be very careful with children and what they have in access to, what they're able to play with and all of those things. You don't want your child to have a lighter. The child could be seriously harmed themselves. And you see the potential case that could have resulted if the firefighters did not go out there and actually get to the scene on time. So be very careful. Make sure that you do your best to keep your children in a safe zone. Keep things safe. Don't have anything lying about the place. Avoid sending children to do things and get things for us that they shouldn't. You don't want to be sending a child to get a knife and bring it to you or stuff like that. You don't want to send a child to get a lighter and bring it to you. Don't give them the impression that it's okay for them to handle these things, because it's not, right? And that's child endangerment altogether. Guys, let us be very careful. I see you there. I see that Colin Alexander. Colin, I totally agree with you, because University of Guyana and secondary school certifications are accredited here, and only those are accepted here, but not the private ones. Exactly. Thank you so much for that reminder, dear Colin Alexander, because that is very true. And I think I said it on some programs prior that a lot of people believe the University of Guyana certification, that degree, that certificate is not accepted in the US, and that's not true. That's not true. And I have persons that are living examples of that. That is not true. It's accepted, it's accredited. If you can go to the US with a bachelor's from the University of Guyana, you could present it and they will do their own evaluation of the certification and so forth. And I know one person who actually got a higher GPA when they evaluated it over there as opposed to what they got in UG. So guess what? It's worth it. So guys, make sure that you do your best to rep and to study. If you can't afford to go overseas and study university, and it's great, okay? I've done it. I didn't come out too bad. Good. Now, one of the things I did pick up in the morning papers I have to bring to you guys is skeleton remains found at Everham for sure, suspected to be of the missing fisherman there. And guys, you know that the skeleton remains was yesterday morning discovered along the Everham quarantine. Oh my goodness, what's happening to my diction this morning? The Everham quarantine for sure. And they are suspected to be that of a missing Suriname fisherman. But you know, one of the things that I'm looking at with this case as we just move on a whole lot quickly this morning, I'm rushing the morning papers if you had noticed because we have a lot of things to discuss as we go along. One of the things that we do know is that we have never seen any ability locally. I don't think the expertise is available for us to even go to that length to say this person is XYZ because it's a skeletal remain. So I don't know which level of forensic testing or whatever will be done, and if international persons would have to come in and be a part of that, which I rather suspect before any definite identification is given. So a lot there to follow up on, but as a story develops, if it does, we're going to be giving you the details. And I say if it does because a lot of times these things just come forward and doesn't go further than what we're seeing in the news right now. So we're hoping to get to a point that the remains could actually be identified. I think that that's where we want to be. So not just have to make to speculate whether it was somebody else, because there were a lot of missing persons. And more importantly, I believe that there's a lot of persons that go missing that's not even reported. So we have a long way to go in identifying who remains belong to and so forth. So we have a long way to go. As we move forward very quickly, very quickly, I continue to say every program, I don't know, it's every week. We have not skipped a week since we started the FYI program. I do not remember us skipping 1 week that we did not have to report on some road accident. And that's just crazy. It's ridiculous. And we have to say that we continue to plead with you to go out there and be careful. We just recently had the newlywed husband losing his life. It was crazy. We don't want to have our country staying like that the country is just lawless, reckless road use, and that in which people lose their lives on a weekly basis. This is not acceptable. It's crazy. It's more persons than you could imagine. Guys, it's the ending of August. We're at the ending of the 8th month, and according to the reports given by the traffic department, when they said they had a slight dip in road fatalities, they were actually saying that from January to now, and that's without the most recent fatalities, but they were saying from January to now, it's 59 persons that lost their lives. So you can look at it and see what we're talking about. We're very serious when we say that every week we come, we have to be reporting on somebody else losing their life. And I want people to understand how serious it is. There's 52 weeks in the year. We haven't been here for a full year. We've been with you guys probably about 7 months. And this is what we're looking at. After being with you guys for 7 months, I'm telling you that it's not okay for us to have to report accidents all the time. Nevertheless, let's just go into what the report says. It says father of 3 dies following the accident there on the Berbice River Bridge entrance. So we would have covered this story. Dad is Aubrey Sears, 43, a machine operator rather, from 298 number 9 Village, West Coast, Berbice. And we did cover this story with the accident there on the Berbice River Bridge, the entrance there. And I have to say that this is just really sad. It's really sad. A lot of persons just root and hope that persons would survive. But we need to know that our healthcare service right now in the country, our healthcare service generally needs to be upgraded. So chances of people surviving serious accidents is very slim in our country. So don't ever go out there speeding and think that, if you get in an accident and you go to the hospital, they're going to put you through some system that's going to save your life, because the majority of cases would show you that persons that go to the hospital after a serious accident does not survive. It just gives you a reason to reflect on your life. You have children and so forth. Be careful out there. Be very careful. Don't be speeding. This culture of reckless driving has to stop because it's hitting home to everyone. And if we don't stop it, pretty soon it's going to be hitting home to your doorstep with a family or friend. Let us stop it before it gets anywhere worse than that. It's very crazy what is going on out there. So our sincere condolence to his family, his children. They're going to be the ones hurting the most in this entire situation. And let us do better. Let us do better as a country when it comes to the road use. It's crazy. I hate it. I cannot take it. I'm very serious about it. We started off talking about the University of Guyana students and how they excelled there. And I have to say that the University of Guyana will be reopening on September 12th. September 12th, the University of Guyana is slated to be reopened, and they're saying they're opening in a hybrid system, some in class and some online classes. So let us see how that goes. We'll be definitely letting you guys know once they put it out there, which classes will be opted to be indoors as opposed to which are going to be online and so forth. But University of Guyana, I know also, I have to say this at this point, I know also that there's a lot of students that is waiting on their CSEC results too. That will determine whether or not they are given the opportunity to head on to the University of Guyana. So I know there's a lot of anxious people out there, parents too, students and parents, a lot of anxiety out there when it comes to the CSEC results. And I believe that September 5th is the slated date for the exam results to be public. So with that, I have to say, breathe, keep calm and all of that. But University of Guyana, you don't have to wait. Actually, you don't have to wait until you get the results to apply. So to avoid a rush and all of that, you can actually go online and apply. You usually have to send us a little promo check, Nevertheless, you can go online to apply, and you can make sure that you just go through the processes and so forth, pay your processing fee and all of that, verify documentation that you already have whilst you await the results there. So just a little bit of info there for anyone interested in going to University of Guyana. And I personally would say, if you cannot afford to go to university overseas, and that's your dream and all of that, University of Guyana is excellent. It's an excellent university for you to go to when it comes to the accreditation and all of that. Don't let anybody fool you. A lot of the international names that are locally are not, well, a lot of the names, let me just take for the international, a lot of names of university that comes here locally doesn't have the accreditation. So go to the University of Guyana. Make sure you do it. A tertiary education is absolutely necessary at this point in time, guys. Once you have the opportunity, once you could, go, go, go. Very, very important that you do. I've noted something online, and I wanted to bring it to your attention before, as we wrap up on the morning papers this morning. I did notice something online, and I think it was a little bit necessary for me to bring it up. And it says the oil sector company and oil sector companies offering free training in agro processing and in other areas as well. I think, and it says the oil company Catalina Energy is offering free training sessions for persons working in the agriculture, agro processing, tourism, and hospitality and manufacturing sectors. It's according to, and this is an advertisement that was placed in the Starbucks News. It's according to that advertisement there. The training will be both. It would be both in hard and soft skill with 12 focus areas spanning 6 months per cohort. And I have to say that persons go out there, make sure that once you're interested, let us all soak up. Once you have the time, once you're not employed, or once you have the time and you want to invest in any of these areas, don't miss out on any opportunity to go out there and get yourself trained. Once it's being offered, you just go out there. There's so much you can get from it, and all of these things give a unique opportunity when it comes to networking. So make sure that you go out there and you have and you sell yourselves at every level. I have to encourage persons, don't miss out on these things. No matter how little it is, you go out there and you get yourself edified as much as you possibly can. And as we mark the morning papers and get to the hard stuff, I know my co-host is gonna be on in a little bit of seconds. So I'm gonna jump in the comment section before we move our way on to the morning brew. And I'm gonna let my co-host, Mr. Sherrod Duncan, I see there, is it Miss Patty is on asking, where is Sherrod Duncan? Well, you just asked in time, believe it or not. He's gonna be here in a second. Click of the finger. Pamela Dover, hey Pamela, what's going on? I see Guyana Day
Morning,
at Coney
guys.
Island.
Morning.
Okay, Pamela says Guyana Day at Coney Island, Brooklyn, NY yesterday. Did you go, Pamela? How was that? I hope it was good. I hope it was good. You know, Guyanese, when we're overseas, we make sure that we go and we interact with each other and we like each other and we love each other and all of those things. And then we come back home. You want to know it's the same set of Guyanese people. We are the most loving and most integrated when we are away from these shores. Then we come back home and you want to know if it's the same set of people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
true,
yeah.
Jared.
Totally accurate. Guys, good morning. And lots happening behind the scenes here. Folks that got our attention, whether we're in front of the camera or we're behind it. But we're so happy that you guys are here after quite a full weekend. And we trust all is well at your end, that all is going great, that you guys are fired up for this new week. You are ready to go. Thanks for all those who joined us for our podcast over the weekend. We had quite some challenges on Saturday, but things kind of evened out. Things kind of evened out on Sunday for us. And we're so happy that all of you guys, we've made it through the weekend and we're here. And I heard you talking earlier on about that, just being thankful.
Yeah.
You know, so many people didn't get here with us, but we are here. And I'm so grateful for that. A new week, a new day to get things right, to make a difference. I think that's tremendously important.
Yeah.
Tremendously important. What more could be asked for?
Well, I know Judith is asking for something a little more this morning.
Talk to us, Judith.
Judith says she's waiting for Cher to sing her birthday song because today is her birthday.
Judith, how are you doing? Good to have you. Good to
Judith
have
Blair joining us
Yep.
all the way from Bartica. Judith David Blair.
you. Happy birthday, Judith. Happy birthday. Good to see you. Good to have you. Hope you have a great day and not only that, a great year. A new year of life. And that's how I count it. You know, we have the new year
Yeah.
by calendar, but then we have the new year by your birthday. That's a new year of life. And we hope that you can do it. Not that you didn't do the last one good, but you do it better this time around, and you kind of edge closer to all of those goals and dreams. I'm certain you have as an individual. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, it was my mother's birthday actually.
Yeah. I saw her large and in charge on social media.
Yeah, yes, it was my mother's birthday, and I have to say, like, I have to give her a FYI birthday shout out. She views every program. If she doesn't get to watch it while live, she goes back and watch it nevertheless.
She's
So
a real trooper.
that's how she is. So I have to say, happy belated birthday.
She is a real trooper.
I know she enjoyed her day with her with some of her grandchildren, you know, the ones that are around her, because you know she has grandchildren in Bartica and in Georgetown. So
Lady lives a full life.
she does.
Very,
She
very,
does.
very full life. And so we have quite a few things on the international scene, folks, we think should interest you. And this is what we're following out of Texas, folks. Out of
Yeah.
Texas. And a lot of you might have seen this already. This go back to India racist rant. And it's quite a teachable moment, especially for a country like ours. And we're going to come to that in just a second. But these Indian American women were out having a night out among the girls, and then they were in the parking lot, you know, chit-chatting as they were going back to their respective vehicles. And here's this woman who says she's a Mexican, who is telling them to go back to the country which they came from. Well, I don't know why she didn't go back to Mexico.
Yeah.
But, you know, it really shows the otherness. You know, we see one side of the U.S., but there's this heavy, thick racial undercurrent that exists there. And it's quite a teachable moment because, you know, we often say, and here it's so emblematic, that once you leave this country, either black or you're white. You know, so us here who got this, we have a very strong distinction here about who's Indian, who's PPP, you know, and everybody else on the other side, right?
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting to see this woman here in this very racist way say, "Go back to India," you know. Go back to India. Very, very interesting.
Well, I think the folks there actually there was a specific group that brought a lot of light and publicity to the video that was circulating on social media, and they were making the very point that the irony of the entire story, is that the woman making the racial comments and showing the racial slurs, she's Mexican American. You know,
Well,
so
at least that's what she says,
so she's Mexican American. So
Yeah.
how does that even
Yeah, she has a
add
greater
up?
right. She has a
Like,
greater.
oh, because she said, and quote unquote, I was born here. So her issue was actually someone having the fact that the Indian women there had a different accent. So that's the only way she discerned that they were not born there, as she put it over, but that doesn't even make sense, because they could have been born there and then went back home and then came back across, however it was. But the point is, that Shad was just making, that there's this heavy undertone when it comes to racism there, in the US. A lot of
And
voices
here,
don't talk about
and
it.
here.
Yep.
Don't let's pretend it doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
I saw Ralph from Cran, I think, over the weekend, talking about the Coffee 250 group, the theme for the conference they had over the weekend here, about the emerging apartheid state, and he says that he couldn't discern it, basically. But that isn't your lived experience.
Yeah.
You have to live in somebody else's skin to appreciate, what they feel.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, what I saw, you see that same Mexican American, you see how these American Indian women feel, Indian American women.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of Afro Guyanese feel
It's
right in this
true.
country here.
It's true. It's true.
That's how they feel right in this
Yeah.
country here.
Because the whole point is one grouping feeling more entitled than the other group.
Yeah.
And that's the whole embodiment of racism
Sad
altogether.
situation. And,
Yeah.
and here is one of those international news agencies picking up on this very story to give you some more context to it.
Yeah.
We are lawful citizens, tax-paying citizens, just having a evening out with friends.
Rani Banerjee says she was chatting in the parking lot after dinner with her friends.
When suddenly, we heard this woman, yelling at us, and she started coming towards us.
Banerjee says the woman seemed to be drunk. She recorded this video. One friend asked why she was yelling at them.
I hate you Indians, that's why. Everywhere I go, you Indians are everywhere.
We were shocked by the racial slurs that she used.
And things got worse. Esmeralda Upton did not want to be filmed.
Oh my God, guys!
She started physically assaulting me.
She's hitting me. Oh my God!
One of the women called police, reporting a white woman attacking them. Upton quickly corrected them.
I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. And I paid my way here.
After hitting another woman and continuing to question why they're in America, Upton then says she wants to be, quote, civil.
I overstepped my bounds, and I'm sorry.
But gets angry again when they say they don't feel safe,
I'm all of 100 pounds.
and attacks them again when they keep recording.
Stop videoing me. I swear to God, I will break your camera.
Felt very humiliating, but more importantly, like that, scared.
It shocked me, it appalled me, and it really made a lot of people in our community very concerned.
Faizan Syed is the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations in DFW.
The South Asian community is typically taught at a very young age. I was taught this by my parents and all my friends as well, that if you're targeted, if somebody curses you out, targets you because of your race, religion, ethnicity, to kind of take it and move on.
He says he is glad these women did not. Upton faces charges of assault, bodily injury, and terroristic threats, and could face more. Plano police are investigating this as a hate crime. Banerjee says sharing her story is about accountability.
And I feel that it would be very un-American to not speak up.
In Plano, I'm Morgan Young.
Yep. And we want to thank that broadcast for that bit there. But that's how it went down.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, but how it's sad that those women, those Indian American women, would have had to go through that. But that's how a lot of people feel on a daily basis when you have that otherness in a society such as theirs, and quite like ours too.
Yeah.
People feel that exactly. Yep. There are other things happening on the international scene, folks, we have to think about. Internationally and in the region, our neighbors have an election, folks. Elections have consequences. Could this be the re-emergence of Lula Inacio de Silva? Or is Jair Bolsonaro going to prevail in the polls? But they have a presidential debate folks right next door. We might
Well,
even hear them.
that's what I found
We
interesting.
might hear the rumble.
The fact that they have a presidential debate.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
that's what I find interesting.
Yeah, for them, they're running for a presidential debate like night, running from day, you know.
We haven't gotten to any level of real true democracy, and we haven't gotten to a place that we should be proud of when we don't we have never really seen. In my
Yeah, it's not
memory,
part of our culture. We
you know,
just
a presidential debate.
it is just tugging at the racial undercurrents, the racial strings. That's how you win elections in this country. Now, sir, presidential debate policies.
When you exactly, that's what I was just going to bring up, because when you go to a presidential debate, then persons have to discuss their policy position.
Yeah.
And that's where the real
My
hard
God,
question
my
comes.
God, discuss which university they went to.
Well, I was just about to say a university, not in that con, but I could imagine, you could imagine a University of Guyana student, over there, being a part of a presidential debate, because the question is usually feed in from the audience and so forth, and asking about, asking questions like that, there's so much talk about your university certification.
There was an attempt at that in 2015, if I remember, at the University of Guyana.
Yes,
it didn't end too nicely. Them boys won't do it again. It didn't end too nicely for Donald Ramatar. Was it 2015 or was it 2010?
It wasn't 2015.
What's the election before then?
I remember
2011, 2010, whichever was the election before then.
Good. I remember when I remember it happened then, indeed, because one of the things I did note, there was one particular small party presidential candidate that stood up on stage. And the only thing he failed not to say is vote PPP, because he went up and he said, well, they're not doing a bad job. What was his point? That was hilarious. University of Guyana students were sitting there, couldn't believe it themselves. They were in awe. They were like, this is a clown show.
So, those debates, you got to know yourself.
Yes, you have to.
A debate of any worth, and
especially University of Guyana. Come on.
You got to know yourself there. You gotta know yourself, and if you drop out at year 2, you can show. If you went IFLOT, you can show. But it's a direction we have to move in. Robust debates. God knows it's not happening in the National Assembly. So
we have to get to that point in which you can have two candidates there, and you can have questions being fed to them from the citizens of the country. Basically, you have a moderator there. Obviously, the questions are vetted and all of that. But you have questions being fed to them from the citizens, and they have to answer the same thing. On a policy position, it's not about, who will do what then, and who in, answer the questions and what's your policy direction. Why should you be elected? Because this is what you want to do. Unless we get there, we're going to continue with this craziness in our country.
Correct.
Race-based politics is ridiculous.
Correct. So that's happening, folks, in Brazil, right next door, and locally. That's why we're tracking, guys. Them boys saying it's a lot happening. In the oil and gas sector. Lots happening in the sugar sector. Government is saying it will end this 90-day pay delay. Rent a citizen under the local content law. This local content bill, was passed. Was part of the reason why 8 of us are suspended right now from the National Assembly. Because the very night the bill was passed, we said to them,
it's flawed.
Carry this thing back, put it in the select committee.
Let me work on it.
Let me get the experts, let me get the technical people, let me work on it and hammer it out better.
Yep.
Now they come back to tell us this. As we said, they want to end this 90-day pay delay. Rent a citizen under the local. The rent a citizen is, I guess, they're slight at Rams Logistics and.
I know what you're coming with. Yep.
Is it Rams? Am I getting the organization? But they say, the majority seems to be Trinidadian and not Guyanese people.
That's Rams,
being part of that. But not only that, they've also now had to relook at the debunching part of these oil and gas contracts, because they said the small companies ain't getting a piece of the pie. We tell you.
We spoke about all of this.
We tell you all. December last year.
This is the thing. We come and we have these discussions. We put positions for the National Assembly. We have the people that support the PVP will go there and say, you're just trying to stop this and you don't want progress and this and that. And look what they're coming with.
They should be apologizing to the opposition.
They should apologize.
But the PVP is like those abusive spouses, those bad spouses, when you catch them cheating, they come and beat you. The PVP, they are those abusive spouses. You catch them in the act, hand in the cookie jar, and they turn back and abuse you.
But
It's like,
isn't it funny?
8 of us are suspended because we protested that. We protested the passage of the what do you call it? The Natural Resources Fund bill, the passage of the bill, and we protested the passage of that, the Local Content Act.
But
You
the
know?
funny part is, the funny part I saw with the headline
Yeah.
is when they said government will end 90-day pay delay, right? Doesn't
Uh-huh.
that ring a bell to you?
Yeah.
Government will end 90-day pay delay. Let me tell you what bell it ring to me, right? Because you're talking about local content here when it comes to how the local businesses are being paid and so forth. You would remember that the opposition went to the National Assembly and we said that public servants should not have to wait, which is 90 days, 3 months, for their salary, for their first salary.
Yeah.
And the government came back and they couldn't even agree with that.
Yeah.
They can't fix a system locally within our boundaries. They can't fix a system to make sure the public servants are paid in less than 90 days. They said reasonable time. They will be paid within reasonable
Yeah.
time. So
These folks,
and then they come now
Same government.
and they say government
Same
will
regime.
end 90-day pay delay. They're not willing to end it for the public servants.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
it comes to
Who they know? The foreign minded. That's how we see it here. They're foreign minded, and that's what's happening on that front, folks. And talking about abusive spouse, the PVP, we were following this over the weekend, and this is very, very sad. This LBI mother of one, Tanisha Dazel, was stabbed to death several times, about 13 stab wounds, according to some reports that we were following. Stabbed to death by her partner, Quincy Roach. And everybody says Quincy was a quiet church boy. As a matter of fact, I saw one report indicated they had just come from a church, or he had
no.
Just come
She
I just come from a church function.
She had come from it.
Yeah,
but the report
But he
has
said he
been-
was very quiet. He was,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and never
because
expected it.
it has been alleged right now, I'm paying keen attention to this story because there's a lot going on here. I'm no psychologist, psychiatrist, or anything like that, but it so happens as a woman, I've had my own experiences dealing with people. I don't think no level of psychology could teach you in a university what experience could teach you. So when it comes to a lot of the things that I'm reading there, and a lot of women out there can actually read at these stories and say, they understand very clearly what went on. But one of the things that they said, out of all the reporting, one of the things that was said is that they're alleging that he made her quit her job. And then the allegation is that she went to a church function without seeking his permission.
Wow.
And less than 15 minutes after she got home, he actually stabbed her in front of her 6-year-old child. Another report is saying that a 6-year-old child would have asked, "Uncle, you gonna kill me too?" And you understand as someone that has been, I've followed so many of these stories, and you understand a whole lot that is not being said. I noted a video that is circulating on social media, and with them in what is said as happier times.
Yeah.
A lot of times, we have to be there for our relatives. We have to be there for our friends. We have to identify red flags, and we have to do our part in making sure.
And sometimes
that
easy
they're
said
safe.
and done too. Sometimes easy.
Always
A lot of
easier-
women sometimes suffer in silence.
A lot is not just that the fact is, Sher, that when persons are in an abusive relationship, they tend to defend their abusers.
Yeah.
Because abuse is not physical force, it's mental force. So you believe that if this person hit you, then you did something to deserve them hitting you. You must have wronged them and all of that. But I noted that a relative did report, in one of the papers again, a relative did say that she spoke to them a couple of weeks prior and said that she wants to get out, and was referring to him as a narcissist. And those are some of the craziest type of people that you have to, if that is true, those are some of the craziest type of persons that you have to deal with. It's crazy because, like you said, they may look all decent and good. And there's a lot of women out there. There's a lot of women and some men also, but the vast majority is women. That's just a fact. That's in relationships that they have no business being in. And you have to really gather your strength. And governments need to have systems in place that they have somewhere to go to. Because sometimes the majority of times, someone forcing you to leave your job. Listen, no, don't be in that relationship. Someone trying to keep you away from your family, you run and never look back. Never ever look back. Don't go back. There's certain signs. abusers tend to try to isolate and make their victims completely dependent on them and them alone.
Yeah.
So you have to identify those signs and get out. We have shared, you said this so many times. One of the pandemics that we deal with is domestic abuse. And when it comes to persons losing their lives, women losing their lives through domestic violence and all of that, this is just a startling example. This 6-year-old,
Yeah, and
pray for him.
Talking about that, videos are in circulation. Here's a look at that. The couple, Ticina Dazel and Quincy Roach, in happier times, folks. Thoughts and prayers go to the family.
It's a question of my heart. You got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if that's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, don't worry, I got plans for you. Yeah, baby, I've been making plans. Oh, love. Baby, I've been making plans for you.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. That video that's in much circulation out there, and one wonders. I was just Judy and I were talking while that was on. How does it go from there to 13 stab wounds? How does it go from there?
I can tell you, it doesn't. It's not a flip of the switch. Yeah. And I want to end my comments on this discussion by saying exactly that. It's not a flip of the switch. It doesn't just go from that to that. Yeah. There are stages and there are signs and there are tons and tons of red flags. And you keep compiling them in a corner, ignoring them. You don't ignore it. Yeah. You don't ignore it. That there are things in relationships are difficult. There are things you can work through. When it comes to abuse, you don't stay for it. Ever.
So there's that happening, and then there was the other tragic news into the weekend. Cindy Jatan, who lost her life there when some rats, they say, at Gaffors fell on her. Sad state of affairs, and thoughts and prayers to her family as well.
Yeah, and I do note this morning in the morning papers that in one of the papers that I've seen Starbuck News somewhere, that the Labor Ministry is probing the fatal Gaffors accident, and I have to say that when it comes to the Labor Ministry, there was a whole lot of talk, Sherrod, about the Labor Ministry being so important and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to occupational health and safety, what is the Labor Ministry actually doing to guarantee that workplaces actually institute practices and policies regarding safety of employees? And one of the things, as this is tragic. A young lady leave to go to work, and I think it's the windows, like literally windows not packed properly or whatever, falling on her. If there was too many windows packed there that caused it to collapse, who's looking at these things? Yeah. One of the things that we don't have, and we have to this conversation needs to be started. Yeah. One of the things that's not always there is like you can go to so many, you can go to so many organizations, and I don't know how many of them that you would actually find an occupational health and safety person employed. Yeah. That is very.
Remember those things, Occupational Health and Safety Week, and then they're all nice and good for the cameras, and then we go back into a kind of lax attitude concerning it. I was watching this guy this morning pump fuel at the service station, and I was scared for him. I was in the car behind, and he was being so flippant about, I saw that nozzle hit that thing like he couldn't find it, several times, and I was thinking, occupational health and safety, that's a profession you gotta be extremely careful. Yeah. You're dealing with something that is so flammable, and he was.
We have the worst. Yeah. We're heading into technological. Well, we should be heading into the technological direction as all first world countries are already in. But if you go to organizations, I'm telling you, there are some organizations that got the employees in a plastic chair sitting at a computer for the duration for the entire day, and they got to be typing from a plastic chair.
Yep.
That should be illegal.
Yep.
No part of labor should have that in play and make it acceptable. A lot of businesses will be shut down. When it comes to very large corporations, large businesses, they have to have persons employed that make sure that these things are done in a specific way. And on that note, I have to mention, allow me please to mention that I did get a complaint from some
Trisha, allow me to
persons.
point out something.
Point it out.
Yesterday, we saw this feature on social media. It's happening again, where we lose a whole host of our audience, and we don't know why. You see,
Ah,
it's happening right now. We don't know if it's a blackout happening somewhere. That usually happens because there's blackout, people router gets knocked offline. But we've lost quite a portion of the audience there. I just want to point out, because some people did message me yesterday after the podcast to let us know, and I did see it during the podcast.
but
I
that's
just
that's immediately. So that's definitely not a blackout just like that,
Yeah,
because
so-
our social media folks are on.
Yeah, but we still pass through all of our feeds. So it's something with Facebook we saw since yesterday.
I think I know what
happening.
it is.
All right, so we've noted that, folks. So I know you're gonna, and some folks say they couldn't share or comment during that.
I know what
period.
this is. I think I just picked it up immediately. The last time this happened, guys, and just bear with us as we just get this done, because you have to reshare the stream, make sure that you share it back. But the last time this happened, but actually, I think it was because of copyright, because of a song being played. So it may have something to do with the video that we just played
Mhm.
and the song in the background there. It may have something to do with that.
Well,
Yes.
let's see.
So guys, just reshare the stream and make sure the all person that got bounced off, because that makes sure that they're able
Let's
to
see.
come back in. Let's see how that works, because we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Let's see. So we're following that, as well as we're following what's happening in the sugar industry, folks. And we told you about this, just like what's happening in some other sectors. It's every day, the oil and gas sectors every day. Again, there was a properly laid out plan under the last administration, right sizing the sugar industry. We say we want to bring in the people who know what they're doing, bring in the experts, let them have a look at it, and then we adjust based on what they're saying. Well, Kaisuka is like in free fall right now, and it's being reported that they're seeking private planters for 25% of their land. Private planters. So you handle the all of these what you call it, strikes and so on, and NIS and all that. We want the stress of that anymore. 25% of the land they're looking for private planters, among some other things that we're seeing
Well,
on the Kaisuka
I
front.
think what's important for persons to note is what they're asking the persons to do. What are they asking for these private planters to do? And it's very clearly spelled out here in the report that the Guyana Sugar Corporation has invited persons to invest in some 25% of the corporation's land to plant sugarcane and supply it to their Albion, Blairmont, Rose Hall, and Iflot estates, according to the request for expressions of interest. The same people that said, mind you, that they went back in and they hired back workers and all of those things now, and they're going to make sugar great again. And so now this is a blatant, them blatantly admitted that we have failed, we're in free fall, and we're begging for persons to come in and save us, and nobody's going to be heading in that direction.
Correct. And while that is happening, we have some other stuff happening, for instance, at the Rose Hall estate. The Auditor General is telling us that you had some folks there largely overpaid, man. Like it's nice time there. It's like they didn't share money. Nice time for some people there. Rose Hall estate, they said close to $5 million was overpaid to two contractors last year. And I think one of the senior managers there said they're fed up with the CEO, they got with the business.
Oh, wow. Just like that.
Nice time.
And as we continue on sugar,
look at making sugar great again.
It's crazy, right?
Gotta making sugar
that
great
one
again.
report is saying that so many persons were overpaid, right? And then the next report is saying that the 92 Barbie sugar workers protest cane cutting and weeding fields, But what they are saying here, it's saying here that some 92 cleaners from Albion Rose, all and Port Morant estates are calling on the management of Gaisuko and higher authorities, I guess they want to say, to consider the decision made to move them from the unit to execute other work such as weeding and cutting cane. Those persons actually their job was to clear out, I think, let me just get that exactly as it is. The workers were told, this is the part I'm getting to. You just heard about overpayment of $5 million. The workers were told that there is no money available to pay them to execute the recleaning work, which consists of them cleaning of the cleaning of the canal and clearing the passage for the ponds. Now they're telling these people that they don't have any money available to pay them.
Oh, interesting.
And we don't have money to pay you on this hand, and on the other hand, you're overpaying $5 million.
Interesting
So
times.
you understand why they don't have money to pay.
Interesting times. Interesting times. And while that all that's happening, interestingly enough, we saw a huge headline out of Sabbath News, the Accountability Watch column by Alan Gulcharan. You know, the headline for that column was, "It's time for the Integrity Commission to get its act together to deal condignly with corruption in government."
Yeah. I see a person there in the comment section. I just want to note that we see what you're saying. Miss Guyana 10 say Facebook is down. So the feed doesn't seem to be going through to our Facebook platform.
No, the feed is going through. Facebook is because if we are having problems with the stream, it'll show there.
Okay, got you.
It'll show there.
So Facebook seems to be on Facebook.
It's either what you've identified there, or it's because if we had any problems, it'll show up here.
Yes. So our apologies there. I hope our Facebook users will be able to come back and look at the program.
Yeah. Come back to YouTube. But again, the Accountability Watch column, which is authored by Alan Gulcharan, famed former General of Guyana, he's saying it's time for the Integrity Commission to deal condignly with corruption in government.
Yeah.
What are we waiting on, Judah?
Well, Alan Gulcharan has been quite the spokesperson when it comes to the accountability and lack thereof in government, and he has been pointed out that he has earned the right and he has earned the respect to speak at the level which he's speaking. When you sit down, you have to read what Alan Gulcharan is saying. You know, the man knows what he's talking about. You know.
So like these overpayment to the contractors, are we going to think we're gonna get it back? I mean, like, it's I won't pretend we didn't overpay them, but are we gonna get it back? Because while that's happening, the sugar industry apparently need some unlimited amount of money, because they say 92 Burby sugar workers protest cutting cane and weeding field. They want money.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They want the money.
People are protesting, and whilst they're protesting, while you were telling them rather that they don't have money to pay them, then some people are being overpaid.
So there's that happening, and then finally, folks.
No, I was just going to say, and on the other hand, if you need more reminders, you would remember the whole leak bit of audio that came out of their meeting when they were wanting to spend more money on products that are deemed not fitting for the job.
Are we talking about independent prostitutes? Or?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. So here, as we get into the big issue, folks, the leader of the Alliance for Change, Kemal Ramjatan, over the weekend said that the safety of John Bascom is paramount, but the police force doesn't seem to be focused on that at all. As a matter of fact, today's editorial Sabbath News is dedicated to the RSS evaluation. The regional security system, they are coming to have a look at it and see if they can figure out who killed Paper Shorts, aka Paper Shorts, Ricardo Fagundes, aka Paper Shorts. And the whistleblower here, John Bascom, Kemal Ramjatan from the Alliance for Change, again saying his safety is paramount. They sent him back to work last week. They are going to charge him. There's no witness protection afforded to him thus far. Even though Irfan got a letter about 2 weeks ago, Irfan looking real thin out here, boy, real thin.
Yeah.
Real thin.
And the point is that we have no knowledge whether or not he even responded to that bit of correspondence sent to him, and it's not acceptable, because there you have the former Minister of Public Security who understand the need for the protection of Dion Bascom, because his allegations are grave allegations.
And his attorney, Nigel, said the law, the act that deals with whistleblowing and so on, is very clear. Of the protection that is needed for those persons until the veracity of their statements can be ascertained. Well, police force then come out and say they are not guilty, they are innocent of all of these charges, even though the DPP hasn't spoken on their investigations yet. It's a whole cook-up show. We call it a special name that I don't want to discuss on the morning program. But
no, we can't. We can't upset your morning.
The show. Those are some of the things we're following, folks. Those are some of the things we are following. Yep. Those are some of the things we're following. And, I really want to thank you guys who have been here with us. I heard you saying it's about 7-8 months now. We're out here every morning. Making the arguments, and you guys have stayed with us, and we're tremendously pleased. I see we may only have right now our YouTube audience based on the comments that I'm seeing here, but we're so grateful. The others are going to come back in their own time, and they're going to catch up with us, but I think we're going to have to leave it here. I
think we just got back to our Facebook platform, so That was just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys are gonna have to catch up.
The fight in Facebook, I'm sorry.
You
I
have to
don't know
catch
why
up.
you guys got bounced off. Our
Yeah.
apologies there. We're gonna check in with with the Zuckerberg team to see what
Yeah.
went on there that bounced you guys
Zuckerberg
off.
continue out here too.
Automatically bunks you
Yeah.
guys off. I know the YouTube platform, now we understand why persons heading
Yeah.
over to YouTube.
See, one says I have to come on YouTube. You can't
Yes.
comment on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody filtering over.
Everybody's filtering over. There's a
Yeah.
reason. So
But I'm happy that you all know now. Once something happens on Facebook,
once something
come
once
through. Rock
Facebook
and
just
come in.
takes us off,
Rock and check YouTube.
everybody comes over to YouTube. So.
Is it the helpers? Am I calling that right? It says sugar cartel. Right? Sugar cartel. Yep.
It's the worst thing that's going on right about
Yep.
now.
Yep.
But guys, that's our time, believe it or not.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
our time for this morning.
Some of you all foot short. You're coming over too fast.
Some
So,
of your foot definitely short.
coming over to the tube. But we're going to see you guys back at 12 with our podcast, and then we're back in the ring at 8 this evening. Thanks for joining us, folks. And please, guys, we're right down to the end of the month. I cannot implore you how your contributions and your partnership is important to us. They help us meet our expenses at this end and to keep us going. We're quite away from where we need to be to finish this month strong. But we know that you guys are going to come through as you usually do. Thanks to all of your help. Thanks to all of your support and your love. We feel it. Thanks for your prayers as well.
Guys, have a great day. It's Monday. You know what you have to do. Do your part and make sure that you are safe out there. Have a good day, guys.
Stay safe.